Hey everyone, welcome to a Heroes of the Storm video. I'm going to be trying out Heroes of the Storm videos for a little while. They're not going to be as common as the Dark Souls Bloodborne stuff because it's not really a playthrough game. And they're not really something I'm going to post like constantly, but I'm going to try to upload them every now and then. Let me know what you guys think of this video in the comments below and whether or not I should do more of them and what heroes you'd like to see. But wait, before I actually talk about this match, I have to mention XUL's abilities. I forgot to talk about these things early on, because I jumped right into bone armor in my initial recording. So I'm going to put this very awkward cut in here to talk about his trait and his activated abilities. XUL's trait is Raise Skeleton. When a nearby enemy minion dies, it becomes a skeletal warrior with 240 health that attacks for 23 damage and lasts up to 15 seconds. Up to 4 skeletal warriors can be active at once. This means when you clear out minions, you will raise skeleton warriors to basically push with your minion waves. It's XUL's main ability and activates his role, making him a great lane pusher. He has bone armor. Activate to gain a shield equal to 25% of your maximum health for 3 seconds. Pretty basic. Pretty much defines XUL as a pseudo bruiser. Spectral Scythe, you summon a scythe that travels to XUL after 1 second. You target an area away from you, the scythe appears and sort of floats back to you spinning, dealing its 240 damage to enemies in its path. Curse Strikes, you activate this ability to turn your basic attacks into a cleave. XUL's basic attacks deal damage in a wide area and reduce the attack speed of heroes and summons by 40% for 2 seconds, lasts for 4 seconds once triggered. You can trigger this ability anytime you have it up, and it only starts that countdown once you make your first attack, and then you'll basically swing your scythe in a giant cleave for 4 seconds, reducing the attack speed of pretty much anything hit. You have Bone Prison. After a 2-second delay, you deal 80 damage and root the target enemy hero for 1.75 seconds. All nearby skeletal warriors will fixate on the target for their duration. So if you're in a team fight, in a lane, you have skeletons out. You bone prison someone, your skeletons will wander to the target and start attacking them. This is great to just pin down a target. You can indicate someone that needs to die, and you can stop someone from coming into a fight or chasing you. Bone prison is great if you're gonna get jumped on. You can throw this on the thing jumping on you and run away, or you can use it to control the battlefield. It's great in team fights, it's great in approaches, it's great in escapes. So those are XUL's basic abilities, and you'll see them in the video. Enjoy. I'm mostly going to be following around my own character during this, and since it's a, replay I'm going through, it's not going to be like a real game, of course. So Fog of War, no, Fog of War should be in here. This is going to be weird. I'm not going to lie. I'm used to playing games and commenting live. So watching like my own character do things, like I said, it's going to be a little weird. I'm going to cut stuff out, like walking to places while I'm not talking. And I'm going to try to detail out what's going on. So the first thing for XUL is choosing your bone armor. In this case, I took Shade. You have a choice between Backlash, what's the second one called? Shackler and Shade. Backlash, after the bone armor duration, it explodes, dealing damage to enemies directly around you. Shackler has increased cooldown when you hit enemies that are stunned, slowed, or I don't remember the third one. Basically, if an enemy is CC'd, you'll get some cooldown reduction on the bone armor, and Shade, the one I picked, lets you evade all basic attacks during its duration, but the cooldown is increased 20 seconds. The reason I picked up Shade is they have a Valera, Zarya, Diablo, and Butcher, and those 4 are all heavily reliant on basic attacks, so I figured Shade would be the best bet for just avoiding their nonsense. So we're on Blackheart Bay, and this is possibly the best XUL map there is. These 2 lanes at the top, you can basically keep them cleared and pushing without without any effort, essentially, if people let you run wild. And this entire team just let me go crazy on this. I had both these lanes pushed up the entire match, and that's Cavo. He was playing Garrosh, and he kind of acted as a bodyguard for a lot of the match until we got more leveled up. I'd probably consider this one of my best XUL games to date. And yeah, I'm just ignoring team fights for the most part. Like, unless Cavo's going in or the team's going in. My objective in this is not to team fight. My objective is to kill as many minions as possible, maybe take a camp or two, and then push up. It's also weird that we're shown as the red team because it's a replay, even though, you know, we were blue in the game. So, at level 4, you get to choose between Reaper Soul, Grim Scythe, and Jailers. I went with Jailers. Reaper's Toll, you have to hit enemy heroes with that scythe, with the Spectral Scythe, and when you hit 20, I think, you get a 3-second cooldown reduction on the scythe. Not bad. The middle one, Grim Scythe, I believe that, let me check real quick. I have the talents open in another window. Each enemy hit by curse strikes reduces its cooldown by 0.75 seconds up to 1.5 seconds. So you get cooldown reduction on your curse strikes. Now we have Valera here and the Butcher, and I would have absolutely died had I not had the Abathur hat. Our Abathur in this game was absolutely incredible. And then the last ability is Jailers, which is the one I picked. Bone Prison spawns 2 Skeletal Warriors. These do not count towards XUL's Raised Skeleton Maximum. Quest, spawn 80 Skeletal Warriors. When you do that, while your Skeletal Warriors fixate on an enemy, they gain 50% increased movement and attack speed. So this is great in helping blow targets up. What you generally want to do is jailer someone, and you get 2 skeletons out of it. The skeletons will then attack that person. And after we spawn a lot of skeletons, they'll attack faster, and the skeletons that are near the enemies will also attack and move faster towards the enemies. So yeah, we're basically fighting a 2v3 here. And again, I mean, I died there. But no big deal. It happens sometimes, and we'll hop to the next level. So, at the next level, you can choose between Harvest Vitality, Weaken, or Triangle's Essence. Harvest Vitality. Let me switch over to Cavo real quick. See what he's doing. Harvest Vitality makes it so your curse strikes. He's throwing around our guys to help save them. And now I'm coming back. Harvest Vitality makes it so when you use curse strikes, you heal when you hit enemy heroes. Kind of makes XUL a really good brawler if you focus on a curse strikes build. Weaken is one of his weaker talents. Because Weaken, it increases the attack speed reduction of curse strikes. And increases the duration of that attack speed reduction. The problem with that is you don't really need that. It's like a win more type of thing. The 2 other abilities here are much, much better. And the one I go with most of the time is Trangul's Essence. Tragul's Essence, excuse me. They removed the N from that. Because back in Diablo 2 it was Trangul, right? And now it's Tragul. Anyways, every time you summon a Skeletal Warrior, or anytime a Skeletal Warrior attacks, excuse me, you get a tiny heal and a tiny bit of mana restoration. And I think that's just attacks against anything. So our Skeletal Warriors here that are plinging this tower will give us a bit of health and mana back. Just any attacks. This synergizes well with Jailers. So this gives us sustain. And since Jailers can help us blow people up, I mean, what's not to like about that combination of abilities? It's good pretty much the entire game. It's reliable. It's consistent. And it is generally powerful because you're hitting people with minions when you bone prison them, in addition to any other minions that are doing the fighting. So as you can see, we've gotten this keep down here done already, and I'm going to work on this one up here. This ding was me completing the quest. So we're at the 6-minute mark, and that quest is done. Like, that quest finished obscenely quickly. And now we have our ultimate talents. We have Poison Nova or Skeletal Mages. Now, I recommend Poison Nova if you have to deal with a lot of enemies that are fast, because you can actually Poison Nova, like, say, Genji and Tracer, and hell, Valero might even be a good target for it, and they'll most likely die. And it's essentially a 2v1, because Ab was with me, but, and I thank him here, I think. But Abathur helped me beat the Butcher, and I think I would have gotten him regardless. And now we're pushing out lanes more, and we're going to go get some doubloons for a turn-in. So Poison Nova, in my opinion, when you have things that can move really fast or kill your skeletal mages really quick, it's generally a better option. But skeletal mages is my go-to almost every time. Because skeletal mages, you summon like a line of mages. It's a line of 4 frost mages, and they'll basically act like turrets and as an obstacle for enemies to cross through. So it's kind of a little force wall-y, like what Tassadar has going on, mixed with turret damage. And the thing Zul's great at is basically roaming around, because to me there are 2 ways to play him. You either pick a lane and you push that lane really, 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 really hard, or you roam around. I generally try to roam around. So right now I'm just wandering around and I'm waiting for maybe help on this camp. And I just start into it. These, the bruisers on this stage can, on any stage really, can really deal a lot of damage. So I pop my armor there to avoid their attacks, and we have our Samuro coming up here to help me. So I can get away and let him tank it while I throw in some damage. So we're at level 13. For level 13 talents, you have Echoes of Death, Rapid Harvest, and Executioner. Let's start with Executioner. Executioner is generally the weakest of the 3 of these. Executioner, attacking a hero that's slow, rooted, or stunned increases your damage for 30% by 30% for 3 seconds, excuse me. So, what that means is if you combine this with a hero on your team that can slow, root, stun, with, say, Shackler, you actually have a Zul that can really take advantage of that. Oh, there's their Valera just sneaking by. It's kind of funny to be able to see where their Valera was this entire time. But we got another turn in. So Executioner is great if you know you have a team that can reliably do that. So if you're paired with like Jaina, KT, Johanna, I think has a stun, doesn't she? Like, I think even Stitches it works with because of his hook. Executioner might work then if you're more coordinated. Rapid Harvest, you gain 5% attack speed for 3 seconds each time Curse Strikes hits an enemy. Up to 75% attack speed increase. That one can be kind of insane because when you actually hit like a whole wave, you'll start swinging that scythe really, really fast. Like comically fast. So that can be really good for building up that attack speed buff and then just fighting someone. And now we have Diablo coming in here and trying to mess with us. And it's like, we just lay in a lot of damage. But what I go with almost every time is Echoes of Death. Spectral Scythe spawns 2 additional scythes next to the first after 1.5 seconds, dealing 60% damage. Essentially, and you've seen it happen a couple times, you put your scythe out, and then you have 2 scythes on either side of that pop up, and then those scythes come back to you. They function exactly as your scythes normally would, but you just get more of them. This will help you with wave clear. This helps immensely in team fights, and it helps a lot with running away from things. Because if you throw the scythes out, there's one, here come the other 2. Man, did that wave not last at all, and that was a giant-ass wave. So, with Spectral Scythes, using 3 scythes with Echoes of Death, you can output a ton of damage. Pretty much on everything, and it's almost always at this point the first thing I throw into whatever I'm trying to do. So over here we have this Diablo working on this camp. Right here. And he's really giving it his all. I'm pointing this out for a reason. So I'm coming over here and I'm getting to the balloon camps, as I am wont to do. so we can get another turn in. And I'm like, okay, we have a wave up here. I'm going to come up here and help the wave get moving. And I'm doing what I'm doing what I do on this stage. I'm coming around and I'm just pushing waves. Okay, we have 16 going in, and I picked a Bone Spear. But we also have the options of Amp Damage and Corpse Explosion. Corpse Explosion causes your Skeletal Warriors to explode when they die, dealing damage. And Amplified Damage reduces the armor. See, I see the Diablo. I'm going to point this out. I see Diablo, and I'm like, you know what? I come in, root him, take him down, and take his hard work away from him. If I were that Diablo, I'd be really angry at that, and I'd probably not want to be playing this match anymore. Anyways, Amplified Damage, any enemy that you root in your Bone Prison has their armor reduced by 25%. Armor is your sort of defense against both basic attacks and hero abilities, because physical armor is your defense against basic attacks. Spell armor is your defense against hero abilities. So reducing armor as a whole just makes it so a target takes 25% more damage when they're bone prisoned. So it lets you blow things up real good. It's a great talent. I generally, especially if it's on a stage like this where there's going to be a lot of wave clear, I will generally shoot for Bone Spear, which I just used there. It just deals damage to enemies in a straight line. It has a very short cooldown. 12 seconds is basically nothing. And it can help you wave clear things that are in a straight line. It helps you in team fights. And there's just this screwed that joke up. Lonely coin right there that we went to go pick up. Yeah, so we're going to go up and get another camp after we do a turn in. Because applying pressure is Zul's thing. He can take camps really easily. Even bruiser camps, especially at this point in the game. We can grab up bruiser camps with very little effort. And siege camps, I'd say around level 7, Zul can easily solo a siege camp. That was a misclick on my part. I'm not gonna lie. My finger, like I literally bumped my keyboard and my finger happened to hit my alt button. But you know what? It doesn't matter because we're not gonna do a whole lot of team fighting as Zul, like we can, and we will have a little bit going on later when we push top. But my role is pressure. All I want to do is apply pressure. So we're gonna go and play the objectives as much as possible. So yeah, I took that camp and I got, what, 2/3 of my health remaining? And now we're gonna grab up the balloons. And I'm just gonna make sure this wave can push. Push, push, push. That's all we're doing. I missed that Bone Spear. It would have been awesome to just ding all these guys. But yeah, our wave clear is obscene at this point. I mean, it's obscene normally, but we just have it more obscene now. So for level 20 talents, since we're coming up on it, we have Andariel's Visage, which increases the... Okay, it does two things. Our Poison Nova will heal based on the damage done, and our skeletons get a damage bonus increase. This is only good in quick match, in my opinion. In something more organized, where you can rely on a healer, or if you do have a healer, I'd skip that entirely, even if you picked up Poison Nova. Cold Hand of Death increases the slow of our Frost Mages, but also our Skeletal Warriors' slow. That synergizes well with Executioner and Shackler. An Immortal Wound. Enemies hit by Spectral Scythe receive 75% less healing. So if the enemy has healers, you can stop it. So we run in here, and we threw down our mages. We still have 2 fighting, well, 3 fighting. There goes Valera. And now I'm up here, and I'm just gonna push more. So yeah, we can help out with team fights. Zul is perfectly capable at doing that, but we can also get some really, really hard pushes going. Like what we're doing here, where we're just like, I'm going to escort these guys up to the edge of the core and then run away. Because, yeah, the Butcher's coming in. And Kavo's with me. Anyways, I'm going to come over here and we're going to push this wave out. Kavo and I are going to get the Bruiser camp that I completely beat Diablo on getting. Abathur's joining us a little bit. Our great Abathur. And now that we're level 20, I can point out the talent I went with. It's Kellen's Edict. Skeletal Warrior attacks reduce the cooldown of XUL's heroic ability by 1%. So, this reduces our cooldowns as our skeletons attack things. Now I'm escorting these guys in. This match has been going so good, I have basically no fear. So I'm throwing out my scythes, I'm throwing out spears. I have my giant minion wave with the mercs. We almost get Zarya here. She had a sliver of health left. I throw out my mages just for some basically protection in case anyone goes in there and tries to get me from there. And me and Abathur take down the Butcher, and their core is basically going down now. So, yeah, KT comes in, messes me up a bit. Still throwing out scythes. Running away, I got the Abathur hat. So, their core is taking damage. And I just walk through here, and I turn right back around. Because I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. So I turn around, I have a sliver of health. KT almost got me with that. Abathur comes in, gives me shields and healing. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just joining in on the death. So yeah, XUL, great lane pusher. Absolutely fantastic at that. It's his goal. It's his role. Our Abathur got MVP. He really actually deserved it. Our Abathur was great. But that's basically what I do for XUL. That's the standard build I've been using. 11 camps. It's not my build. I've seen it online. I've seen other people using it. I've tried out a lot of builds. I've tried out a Cursed Strikes build. I've tried out a straight Spectral Scythe build. I've tried out a straight lane pushing build. And I think doing a hybridized build is the best way to go with XUL. You'll be able to fight in team fights. You'll be able to duel. And you'll keep your main role going, which is just push, baby, push. So thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Leave a like if you liked it. And let me know if you want me to do more. And if there are any heroes I could do guide videos on. I'm not that great at this game. I'll admit that. I know only a couple heroes extraordinarily well on this level. But if you leave a hero you'd like to see, I will try to learn them and make a guide video for them. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.